big like commercial hotels. It's like,
Well, they got big commercials.
I thought they had like small family homes.
Oh, yeah, most of them, you know, 40 or 50 units.
Yeah.
Down through Louisiana.
Down there next to the bay,
In a couple places there.
they've got some big ones.
She did tell me
It's
that.
definitely
She
on my
almost
list of
talked
places
about
to
it.
go.
He said we're gonna do that
Tell me in the general scope,
in
but,
October, so we shall see.
right.
Jane and Roddy.
At least the weather might probably not be so hot when you go in there.
Yeah, maybe not. I'll be bringing clothes. I will bring a costume, but I'm bringing clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Look.
so you know.
Everybody wears clothes with a dress a little risque.
Risque. I
Risque.
won't be that risque. I might show leg, but that's about it. I'm
You
old,
could
you know.
like wear a fishnet blouse or something like that.
I will.
Okay.
You know. Oh, you'll love it.
I'm excited. I am excited. Would you guys Okay. And Sid's not here, and Miss Alfreda's on her way. So we gotta come on, no, he's fine. We got it.
But if you get a chance, walk to the third block.
Yeah, no. I know she goes.
I've eaten at the group. I've been there one time.
They've got that out on the third floor.
Okay.
What's it called?
Adam and Eve.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm kinda scared now.
Look, I miss that place. She told my wife one time. She told me, I went there 10 or 12 years in a row. Now I can't function anymore. Last time I went on my scooter ride around.
Oh, I told him I want one of those electric scooters. And I'm ready when you are. 'Cause I think this is all we're gonna have.
That's all we're gonna have.
Absolutely. Go back.
Well, it's time to start. then.
32, I do believe.
Thank you.
You ready?
I'm ready. Please, Gabby.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. You would silence all your cell phones and electronic devices. This time I'm gonna ask everybody to stand, and I'm gonna ask Ms. Gabby Durbin to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, my name is Gabby Durbin, and I'll be saying Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good job.
This time we'll have roll call, so mark the computer as you, if you're present, please. Okay. We do have a quorum. Okay. I believe all of y'all have a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting, so if there's no additions or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
A motion to approve.
I second
Boy, they're fast.
Motion by Ms. Green, second by,
reverse.
okay. Wood, vote on the minutes. Okay. Approved. Correspondence.
I have none at this time.
None at this time. Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'm going to open up the public hearing for file number 2018-13, rezoning from agriculture and rural mobile home parks to a rural residential minor subdivision. Address 4363 Raymond LeBeau, Bruley, Louisiana. Mr. Jerry McPrajon and Jason Swa. Okay. Is anybody here to represent that? If you would, come up to the mic, and they have a tablet up there, sign your name, please, sir, and speak into the mic. What it is, we have a camera pointing at you to have you on camera and have the record of the minutes. So I'd appreciate it if nobody make comments in the audience. Save your comments for when you're up here at the podium where we can have it on the public record.
Can I interrupt just a minute? Jeremy, we're gonna do the west side of the coulee first, and then we'll do the east side second.
All right,
You know,
I got you.
okay.
So we would like to rezone this to where we can have it as residential property. We'd like the west side of the coulee would be accessible from Raymond LeBove. And then we would like to divide the property so the east side would be accessible from Lukeville Extension. We're doing this just to be able to have the property usable. I bought the property with somebody else that owns 50% of it. And we're just trying to do this minor subdivision to where we can divide it and each keep the part we desire to keep. And that's it. Don't have any intention of actually doing any development at this time, just dividing the property so we can each restructure our loans and pay a separate mortgage on the piece that we're gonna keep individually. Is there any questions?
Okay.
I have one. How many lots do you know off the top of your head right now that you have in mind for your section?
For the piece that I have, I'll have a lot accessible from Raymond LeBove and then just one lot in the minor subdivision.
Okay.
And he'll have, Jason Swear will have 2 lots in the minor subdivision. Coming the one that's accessed from Raymond LeBove on the west side of the Coulee Canal.
Okay.
The one on the east side, as of now, it should be just one lot on each side of the right-of-way on the north and the south side. East side of the Coulee Canal, accessed from Lukeville Extension.
Thank you.
Okay. Curtis, you familiar with that spot?
Just recently, yes.
Okay.
I do have a map if it would clarify things.
Rusty, you familiar with it? Okay. Any questions from? Yep.
Yeah, you need to be in
Please.
the mic. I won't be able to hear you.
Is that the same map we have? Okay.
He's just got a smaller version.
So basically, just for the sake of explaining, I took a map and just kind of highlighted it so it'd be easier to explain. So the orange property is what I'm going to keep, the yellow property is what Jason's going to keep, and this in blue will be the servitude where the minor subdivision road will access from each side. There's a lock gate already existing that we installed on the Coulee Canal. We're going to leave the crossing there for parish maintenance so that everybody can get back and forth through it if they need to, but it will remain locked other than that. So there will not be a through street at all. You know, there'll be dead ends and T-turnarounds and everything that's required.
They're all fairly nice sized lots then, huh?
Sir?
They're fairly nice sized lots, huh?
Yes, sir. Everything should be nearly an acre plus. And the only reason we,
Most
just
good.
like I said, separating it where it made the most sense. It didn't make sense for a strip of property to cross that big canal, being it's not really accessible, but just down that servitude. So that was the reason for accessing it from.
Do they have utilities back there already, or?
There, the water main is there, the gas main is ran to that third lot that's across the street from the, where I have it highlighted in orange, there's 3 small lots. They have gas to the last lot, and the water main goes all the way through and ties in on both ends.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Anybody have any questions for him? No questions? Okay, at this time, I'll ask anybody in the audience, does anybody in the audience have any comments or questions?
I guess just out of curiosity, I'm Tisha Mitchell Darcy,
Okay.
and I
Yes.
stay to the,
Well, yes, ma'am. Go ahead and sign the list and speak into the mic, please,
oh
ma'am.
Lord.
Pull it down just so there you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, I'm Tisha Mitchell Darcy, and I stay on Lukeville Lane, Thomas Lane, which is connected a journey to the Cooley Canal. I just need to make sure that you're not gonna be putting any property or access to well, it's saying mobile homes, minor subdivision into it, because at this point in time, before we started building into the new subdivision, the flow of the Cooley Canal was flowing, the water. So now we're having problem, those individuals who live on Thomas Lane, whenever we have a real heavy rain, the sewage is starting to back up a little bit, and it affects our homes. So we just need to make sure that that's not gonna have any downfall on our area, because we live there. You know, we have kids that's there. I have children. This is not just one. I have other kids that's there. I couldn't bring them. So I just need to make sure for assurance on what's your ending results. Are you just separating this for the sake of you and your friends? Are you separating this for an extension of trying to build your home, you know, build homes? So just explain to me a little bit more.
Okay, that's no problem. Jeremy Prejean. And right now, I live also, my property does border the Cooley Canal a little bit further down. And this will be adjoining my property where I currently live now. We are not zoning it to be a trailer park. We are taking it from a trailer park zoning and converting it back to single-family dwelling, single residence.
So when you're doing a single-family dwelling, that's to build homes on it, or is
It'll be able to build a home at some point, but that is not our intention at this time. The only place that any structure is even planned to be built is where Harlan Truxilla's existing house is now, in that area right there, which is on the other side of that right away from you.
Okay, now hold on. I asked everybody talking to the mic, so I'm not trying to cut you off, but we try to get everything on the record. So,
like I say, just trying to make sure that it's not going to cause any problems to our existing home settings. You know, as a matter of fact, like I said, I stay on one side of the Cooley Canal, and Mr. Harris Snurr stays on the opposite side, and Mr. Henry stays on the other side. So those are individuals who've been there for years. I've been there for 12 years. You understand what I'm saying? So I see the downfall constantly. It's like a trickling downhill journey that's going. The side of we don't even allow the parish to cut it, because the Cooley Canal, believe it or not, where we stay at, it's number of rocks and gravel. If we pull those trees up, you won't have anything. You always have a complete landslide of just a downhill journey that will affect Sugar Mill all the way down to wherever Cooley Canal ends. It's your choice, I'm just saying. It's really a downhill journey on what's going on in that area.
thank you, ma'am. I believe what he was saying, it was more populated with the mobile home park, and it's gonna be less populated now. Okay, anybody else?
I got one question, Mr. John. I mean, this gentleman can go first, sir, if you want to come on up. I do have a question also.
I just spoke with Jason.
State your name for the record and
John
sign the
Caruso.
tablet.
John Caruso.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just spoke with Jason. We've had the property next door to this in our family for 100-plus years, and it's been divided up, kind of. But when the previous owner, he's deceased now, when he had it, he was a land grabber just every inch he could. And where our right-of-way is supposed to be, I don't even know if we got 12 full feet anymore from where he put his corner post. But if you try to put even a little Honda Civic in there, you're gonna slip off into the ditch. So I spoke with him about, let's come up with some agreement, because I'm sure you had it surveyed before you got it. I'm sure you had it surveyed. I don't know what markers they're going off of, what they have for us. I spoke with Pee Wee a couple years ago. He was gonna put a culvert in. He never went and do it. And we just kind of relaxed. We never push issues on stuff. But I think him and I is gonna be able to get together and do something. But that's on a piece that your partner's getting, actually. But I think he's got it right now. So this is gonna have to come up. I don't oppose his projected plan, but his property's involved in what's going on here.
Do you feel like you'll be able to settle in a neighborly fashion, or?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. We ain't got our fist up. But, we got his phone number and we're gonna talk. I think we're gonna come out all right. I mean, it doesn't pay to go to fight everything for that, you know? I mean, just start doing
You
whatever
gotta
you're
look at
doing.
all the different scenarios, you know.
Right, well, one of my aunts, it was family property, one of my aunts started controlling it, and she was up in age, and Truck was physically fit. Well, every time somebody would do something, he would take all the way up to the very inch. And you can see where his gate zigzags to squeeze us, and it's like, we can't even get in there. So I talked to Pee Wee, gave him access for the canal in the back to clean the coulee a few years ago. He was gonna come in and put us a culvert and do all this, and he didn't do it. So what we're relying on, he may come put the culvert, but it isn't where I would like our access to be, the old access, you know? So it might save him the cost of putting the culvert in eventually. So we're gonna get in touch with each other this weekend and see where we go with it.
Okay,
That's it.
great.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, my name is Henry Henderson. I live at 4103 Thomas Lane.
We'll
in
sign the
Brewley.
tablet, please.
Sure. Okay, my question is, in this rezoning, under what falls under the umbrella of what can be placed back there in that particular area?
Well, you got the book, Kevin. I'll ask you to read it. We'll get him to read it for you in a second. Did you have any other questions?
No, I just wanted to know what could be
Okay.
placed back there,
Thank you.
because
So
some things I will object to.
We'll get
But I don't know what they
we'll
are.
get the book and read the possibilities for you. Anybody else? Okay, Kevin, can you read
Yeah, let me go ahead and answer that question.
what can
first.
fall under residential minor?
Under minor, so off the top of my head, it's gonna be single-family residential. I think that's pretty much the extent of what they can do, but I can double-check real quick for you. Here in the table in chapter 104. You have a church, obviously. You can do churches in pretty much any district. There's federal laws about churches. Typical things that go in residential districts, you can have a daycare center. You can have a group home for the handicapped with a special use permit. You can keep livestock with a special use permit, not explicitly. You can have indoor recreation with a special use permit. You can have mobile homes. You can have single-family residential. You can have an outdoor fast food restaurant with a special use permit. You can have a school. And then you can have what we call minor utilities, which would be like sewer lift stations, electrical substations, things of that nature.
Okay,
That
thank you,
is
sir.
the extensive list. Yes, ma'am.
When you said mobile homes,
Yeah.
not a mobile home park.
Let me check that for you real quick.
Mobile home on a-
Correct. Mobile home residential. Correct. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, sir. Did that kind of answer your question?
That gave me some.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you to come up here to the mic and make a comment, please.
That gave me information.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I was looking for information. But if it's mobile homes in the area that I am, my house is like $250,000. A mobile home I think would bring the value of my house down. So I would object to that. You know, if it's mobile home in any fashion. Okay?
I understand that.
One of the guys that spoke lives back there. I wouldn't see him putting a mobile home next to his.
Well, you don't see it today, but we don't know what's gonna happen next week, next month, next year, or the next 5 years.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I had one quick question, Mr. John. If anybody else wants to come up after me, that's perfectly fine. And I apologize to Jeremy. I was involved with the initial meetings. I was out for a couple of weeks over the holidays. Miss Lynn actually went and posted the signs, and I appreciate that. Jeremy, my only question for you is, I guess, the Villa Rubia property to the south. Do you know anything about the history of that property to the south of you? It's kind of a landlocked piece. Can you speak a little bit about that? Where do you want to go? Do y'all have any plans to develop that at any point?
No, me and him just talked about it for sale.
I'm just, and again, I apologize, I didn't catch this earlier in the analysis, but seeing it over here tonight, it's.
We haven't been pushing the issue,
I don't have very much knowledge on that, just informal conversation. And impression that I was under was that by providing maintenance servitude on the Cooley Canal for the parish allowed them access through there. But just talking with the family today, they said they don't actually have that in writing, I don't believe, or I'm not sure of any of that. Like I say, everything was very informal. But I really don't know much else about the property besides that. That's really about it. I didn't really have any title search or do any research on that piece of property. It really wasn't in question at the
Sure, if
time.
that's a parish canal, they've had a servitude there for years, huh?
Like I said, I can't
Should've
answer
been
that.
if
That
it-
was just
if
more or
it's a
less.
parish canal, you know.
Yeah, that was a very informal conversation that I had with another public official that told me that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Anybody up on the commission? Being none, at this time, I'm gonna close the public hearing.
Mr. John, there's something I want to say to the resident. From what my understanding, the property is zoned agriculture and R-MH, which is mobile home park now.
Yeah.
That's how it's zoned now. It can, if we change the zoning, we're taking it actually from mobile home park to just single family if there was a mobile home, just one. You see what I'm saying? It's zoned mobile home park now. Were you aware of that? I just want them to understand what it is now
Now, do you,
and what they're trying to do.
What you want me to do? You want me to say
What
what?
you're saying, they're doing away with a mobile home park on that property.
okay, there's no mobile home park on
But
the
it-
property.
No, but
That's
it
the way it's
can
zoned now.
be
He
put
could
there
They can put a mobile home park there now.
currently.
That's what she's saying. But they're changing it where you can't put a mobile home park, but you might have an individual mobile home. Is that what you're saying, Joy?
Yes, I just want you to understand that right now, if it's not changed, you can put a mobile home park there. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Whereas if we change it to single-family dwelling, you might have one mobile home on an acre of land or an acre and a half of land.
Versus
Versus
6
however
or
many.
10 or how many, probably? Yeah. So,
Right now, it's zoned mobile home park. I don't know if y'all were aware of that. I just wanted you
No, I wasn't aware
to
of
be
that.
aware of that.
No, okay, because there's nothing back there but woods. so-
Right,
Right.
now,
It's like
but,
mobile,
Right.
yeah.
But if
But-
they'd like to put a mobile home park, they could do it, but he's trying to change, he's trying to get away from that.
All right.
So it's to protect you, really, it's more protection for you.
He's doing you a favor if you kind of want to look at it that way.
Yeah, if I want to look at it that way.
well, it's maybe one mobile home versus, I don't know,
Many.
15 or 20 or whatever.
and he doesn't exactly even know yet what he's gonna do, right, Jeremy? He may build homes, I don't, you know.
As of right now, we have no intention of doing anything with the property. We
Right.
just bought the piece of property and we just want to be able to divide it to where I can pay a mortgage on the piece that I'm going to keep, and the guy that I bought it with can pay a mortgage on the piece he wants to keep. Is the only reason we're here to divide it, and we want to rezone it to where we can divide it. We're not trying to build any mobile home parks. To be honest, the most that'll happen is we'll cut the grass. I mean, not a whole lot to be done there. Definitely don't see any structures or anything, not even a barn being built at that part. It wouldn't really make sense at this time to do anything with it. Definitely don't have any intention of putting any mobile homes anywhere on the property at all, as far as that goes. So,
Thank you again. And nothing else? Nobody else? This time I'll close the public hearing again. I'll entertain a motion to dispense with item number A.
Our motion be recommended for approval.
Motion by Mr. Rusty, second by
I'll second.
Curtis Ducote. Okay. This time there's no discussion. Being none, mark your ballot. Thank you, sir. Now, when's this gonna come up again?
Next Thursday,
A week from this Thursday.
a week
okay.
from this Thursday, yes, sir.
It'll come up again a week from this Thursday. Okay, at this time, I'm gonna open up
Y'all
public
voted,
hearing again.
yeah, y'all voted on the west side, because it's two minor subdivisions.
We have
I
to
make a
do the-
motion, we
have to-
approve.
Yeah, we covered both of them, okay. You
So
wanna
we
do
can
it
go
again?
ahead and move forward with the east one.
Right. I'll make a motion, we approve the east one.
Okay.
And I'll second.
You might want to open up your public hearing first.
Yeah,
You might want to close your public hearing first. I mean, Lynn, you tell me.
go ahead and open up the public hearing, and they're gonna go ahead and make their motion.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we've heard the
I
whole thing
got you.
already.
Well, I'm gonna open up the public hearing for item number B, for the property on the opposite side of the canal on what road?
Loopville Extension.
Lukeville Extension, for Mr. Prejean, Mr. Swan.
And Russell made a motion to recommend approval, and I got a second by Mr. Curtis.
Okay, well, let me,
So he.
I'm gonna
he
close
needs
the
to
public
close it.
hearing, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He
Yeah, I gotta close the public hearing at this time. Okay, and we'll entertain a motion from Mr. Valley and Mr. Ducote. At this time, if you would, mark your ballot. Okay,
Unanimous again.
they're done.
Sorry, Mr. John.
Time I'm going to I'm gonna open up the public hearing again. Item number C, file number 2018-15, a request for rezoning from agriculture to rural single-family 3 at address Lot E2, fronting Elwood in Brewley, Louisiana, for Miss Patricia Elwood.
How y'all doing this afternoon? My name's Cord Bradford. I'm representing Miss Elwood. And what I'll do is give you guys a kind of a brief description. In fact, what I can probably do is, if you want to show them that, I've got copies of this if you need to pass.
I gave him copies
Okay.
of it.
Miss Elwood lives off of Elwood Drive, and what she's looking to do is, she has a large tract of land, and she's looking to get a portion of it rezoned to, from agriculture to residential single-family. And her intent is to create 5 new lots. And she's gonna do it in between I guess that's E1, which was a tract that was for her daughter, which just recently sold.
Oh, this one.
And the pipeline, which you can kind of see where the pipeline is. So it's right in the bend of the road, and I know you guys have the map, is where it's at. And it'll be 5 lots that she's looking to create. All the lots will be 1.75 acres, except for one will be a little bit bigger that butts up against the servitude of the pipeline. It'll be almost 2 acres. And she's gonna stop at this time, she's stopping at the pipeline. She's not going any further. She's leaving the rest of it in woods, so.
But the rest of it is already zone residential.
It is, that is true.
So it's just this piece right here.
That's right. Just that piece. And she actually lives right in the bend of the road.
She's right here, right?
Yes. It's that first house, wherever it's at. Yep, that's it.
Okay, the only way to get to this property is through Elwood Drive?
Elwood Drive, yes. Elwood Drive comes off of it's Choctaw Road?
Choctaw,
Yeah. And it's an asphalt road. It's a public road today.
Yeah. Sorry.
And there's several, if you make the loop and go back, you can see the tracks on the screen. There's several lots already back there with residential homes on it, so.
It's actually quite pretty. It's very pretty. I posted the sign.
Oh.
The whole area back there is
It is. It's very nice. It's gonna be some nice lot. The lots, like I said, the lots are 145 with a depth of roughly 527 feet, so it'll be a a nice piece of property for somebody to purchase.
It seems to be a pretty piece.
It is. And it's quiet back there. There's not a lot of noise or traffic, especially on this road.
Okay, was it in walking distance to the golf course, or?
Maybe a golf cart ride.
Oh, good. Are there any utilities back there at this time? Or?
Yes, there's all the utilities, except sewer. I don't think there's sewer, huh? Yeah, so it's not sewer, but it's got water and gas.
Okay. Well, looks like a pretty piece of property. Anybody got any comments on the commission?
I have a question as far as fire protection. We drove by there and I can't recall seeing any hydrants or anything.
Yeah, there's a, if you look, there's a hydrant right in the middle of the third lot.
Oh, the third
Yep.
one?
Yep, I'm sorry.
I don't think we have that.
I don't recall seeing it.
I can give you guys a copy.
That's
This
all
is
right.
a fire hydrant here, there's a
Okay.
fire hydrant here, and
Oh.
here.
That
Okay.
was what
Yep,
we
so
did.
it's right in the middle of the,
Curtis and I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
I missed that one. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there's plenty enough fire hydrants out there today to cover everything.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody in the audience have any comments? Anybody have any comments? Being none, I'm gonna close the public hearing at this time. I'll entertain a motion or second to dispense with item number C.
I make a motion. Oh, never mind.
I'll second.
Enjoy.
Can you get our voting material up there? Okay. If you would, mark your ballot.
And we have a unanimous vote.
Okay, it's unanimous.
And again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for pointing out for the folks in the audience, this is going to come up again next Thursday at 5:30 here at the parish council meeting.
That'll also be up next Thursday at 5:30. Okay. At this time, Ms. Green?
I move that the zoning meeting be adjourned.
Motion by Ms.
I'll
Green,
second it.
second by Ms. Hobbs.
Okay. Hang on.
You would mark your ballot. Now, okay, we adjourned. At this time, I'm gonna open up the Planning Commission. I believe you'll all receive the minutes. If there's no additions or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve those. Motion by Mr. Valet, second by Mr. Denzil to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission. If you would, mark your ballot. Thank you, sir. The minutes are approved. Correspondence.
Don't have any, thank you, sir.
There are none. Okay, at this time, I'm gonna open up the public hearing for file number 2018-29. Final plat showing a survey survey and division of Lot 13, Rosario de Benedetta Estate, located in Section 43, Township 7 South, Range 12 East, Southeastern Land District, for April Brumfield.
Hi, my name is Raymond Mullins. I'm with McLennan Taylor, and I'm representing Miss April Broomfield. What we're doing, sometime back, Miss April had received a approval for a waiver to add a second mobile home to this tract, but due to the fact of having to mortgage this mobile home, she had to cut out a piece of property to go with the mortgage. So, and that's what we're just asking for, the division of this property at this time.
Okay. Well, I'm very familiar with it. It's right around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
There were many a beautiful vegetable raised on that piece of property over the years. I know that. Any questions from anybody up here? No? Any questions? Thank you. Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Okay. This time I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion to dispense with item number C. All right, this file number 2018-29.
Lynn, do they have to give
Okay.
this one has a waiver, do they
Yeah,
have to
do
give?
you have to mention the waiver?
I don't remember.
It needs a waiver. Both lots will not
Yeah.
be the correct size.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't make 22.5, and there's not public sewer out there, so.
Right.
Your recommendation,
We'll include the
Subject
waiver.
to the
I
waiver.
agree- Yeah, include the waiver
Are
that's
they,
on
are
the
they supposed to
plat.
give a reason? I'm trying to remember. So it's supposed to
Yeah,
forward a
they are.
reason to the council or
they
whatever?
are. And for topography, and because I'm asking, do you want to give them the waiver for topography due to the size of the lot, and it was given a variance years before?
Yes.
And it's for mortgage purposes.
And it's for mortgage purposes.
And it's for mortgage,
Right.
okay.
Absolutely right.
That's okay, Kerry?
I'm good with it.
Okay, mark your ballot. Good, so that'll be coming up Thursday, a week from now also. Any other business?
No, sir.
Ms. Green,
I move that we adjourn.
the second.
I'll second that.
Valet? Okay, mark your ballot. Okay. Sounds great. Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate everybody coming tonight.
I was coming with it. Can it just beat me to it?
It's not raining, but
Good job, I'm sorry, I get ahead of you. By the time I'm doing two things, I'm.
And I get behind sometimes too, so we'll work together, we'll get it out.
This week is residential single
I am
family.
not going to
What
do
the
that
heck is the
without
difference?
talking to you first and getting notes on the best place to go.
Okay.
I promise you.
You too,
They
man.
wanted to do 5.
You did such a good job, I'm so proud.
Lynn, no meeting next time?
No, the next meeting is canceled. Our second meeting in, February is gonna have, I already have a couple of items on that agenda.
Okay.
That'll be the week after.
This is the,
What you
no,
got?
no, this is the third, this is the third. This list is residential, single family, and this is residential minor. I wanna know what the heck the difference is.
Since you started, Kevin was out of town for over a week, I went to Italy. We were having issues with the computer, and I haven't been able to do this, which is so my
No,
Whenever.
yeah, fine.
So much. I've learned so much.
But,
And thank you.
thank you, sir.
You can tell this is an elementary school kid, huh?
Uh-huh. Please
You
stand.
think they do that every day?
Every day,
Yeah.
Gabby Durbin?
every day.
I get to catch up on things?
Did a good job, too.
How
Great job.
That Bill?